Welcome. My daughter is coming to visit us this weekend, and I promised her that I would whip up a few homemade pizzas in the pizza oven, but it's in need of repairs, and I thought I'd do some cosmetic repairs, but also use the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about my pizza oven. Some of you have asked a little bit more detail from some of the videos, and today I will be doing some repairs, and tomorrow I will be making the pizza. So this video is divided into two parts, so hopefully we'll give you a little bit more information about my pizza oven. I'll show you a little bit about the repairs I'm doing today. As an example, this is a brick that was sitting here and has come off because the cement is all very loose. So I will be removing all of this today, and I will be applying new cement, and I will be putting it in place. Also, if you look over here, there is a gap, and that was obviously not there when I made it before, and I will want to make sure that that is properly repaired. Some of those bricks have become loose, so again, this is over time, clearly. I will be replacing the cement to make sure that they are steady. All of this is cosmetic, I should point out. This is me putting an outside layer of bricks because I wanted to make it pretty, but the pizza oven itself is very good because, and I'll show you that in a separate video later, because actually this is a separate unit which I have covered in bricks to make it to match with my base. So this is the before. I will show you what it looks like after, but I will be making some pizza dough, and also tomorrow I will be putting the pizzas together with my daughter. So there will be broadly 4 sections in this video. If you're not interested in this section, by all means skip the next section and go ahead. I will not be offended. So let me tell you a little bit about our pizza oven first. We built it in 2015, and here is a date. Hopefully you'll be able to see once I edit the video. Julie brought it down to immortalize it. I can see actually there are some cracks which I will need to repair as well. In terms of overall measurements, it's 2 meters and 4 centimeters long, and 1.8 meter is the width of it. And the overall height to the top of this plate is 1 meter and 85. When I built the oven, I designed it with 2 areas, the cooking area and the tools and the wood storage area. And I'll get a torch and I'll show you the inside. It looks a little bit like a chapel, as you'd expect. I've just cleaned it, so it looks very clean now. The inside, as you'd expect, is considerably smaller. The diameter of the base is 70 centimeters here, the workable area. And at the highest point inside, the measurement is 42 centimeters. That is actually quite an important measurement because the height needs to be proportional to the base. I found the footage of when I built it back in 2015, and I'll put together a little video clip showing you the overall project, including help from the children and the dog. But as you can see underneath here, the base is cement, and of course some wooden stilts that hold another base, and then there is cement on top of this base. I left it in place because obviously much easier to leave it than removing it, but it doesn't actually service much of a function today. Of course this is incredibly useful as I store all of my tools in here, and also the wood for cooking purposes, and as you will have guessed, it was made to measure so that everything fits in nicely. As I mentioned earlier, these bricks are there for cosmetic purposes. They are not actually the bricks of the original pizza oven. I've done that to match the base so that it looks nice. These are paving slabs which are cut to size. They were left over when we laid our new patio, and I made sure that we had a good use for them. So the pizza oven itself is that smaller internal arch, and it weighs about 800 kilos, and I bought it from Portugal, and my job was to build the external vest so that it looks in keep with the rest, and of course the base. These bricks are called fire bricks, or often referred to as refractory bricks. And the same applies to the bricks inside the chapel as well, although they are of a different shape. They look more like the normal traditional bricks, but they're also fire bricks. Fire bricks, I'll turn this off, are very similar bricks to what you might find actually in storage heaters, where they have got an amazing property of retaining the heat and then releasing it during the day. In the case of pizza ovens, they have got the ability to withstand incredibly high temperature, and that is what you need when you're cooking a pizza. In Sicily, they reach the temperature of approximately 750 to 800 degrees, and what that does effectively allow the pizza to cook from the bottom up, and you get a lovely crusty pizza, and the temperature inside the oven will cook the cheese and all of your ingredients, so within a minute to a minute and a half you get perfect pizza. And that is what they are really, really good for. But also they've been around for centuries, well before electricity was invented. And that, in the old days, used to be the only way of cooking, actually. And although I call it a pizza oven, we use it for other stuff as well. We cook, as you might have seen from some of my videos, we cook meat, vegetables, and they come out with an incredibly smoky flavor, which is different to what you might get if you're cooking indoors. Also, something else to bear in mind is that you can cook bread. And an excellent property of this oven is that if you're cooking bread here, because of the high heat from the bricks, you get a lovely golden crusty cover, but the inside is nice and soft because clearly it cooks very quickly, but you get the lovely crunchiness in the bread, and of course the lovely smoky and charcoaly flavor as well. Generally in pizza oven, the material used to make the fabrics is clay, but there are other products on the market, such as alumina or carbon, which are other different products which might withstand even higher temperatures, but that is the most common product. And I just wanted to give you a little demo. This is a fire brick which I've taken out from a wood burner indoors just for the purpose of showing you. It's really light, and it weighs 660 grams. Yes, I weighed it. And to give you some context, this is a general purpose brick which is used for building purposes, and it's similar, not necessarily the same size, but in terms of volume I can imagine not too dissimilar, but this weighs 2.2 kilos. If I was to put this inside my wood burner, within a couple of hours would break. The process for making fire bricks is relatively straightforward actually, and some people even do it in their own home. I did think about it, but by the time I put the budget together, it was cheaper for me to buy than actually making my own. But generally, the clay is crushed into a very, very fine powder, and then is put into a mold with some chemicals, I guess, and then let to dry, and then is effectively cooked at a high temperature, and that's how they make them. But also there are other products on the market, and clearly this video is not about you building a pizza oven, this is about me showing you mine. But you can also buy stones which you can use inside your oven indoors if you like, to give a bit of a charcoaly flavor to your pizza. Or indeed there are stones you can buy that you can put inside your barbecue, and I'll show you one because I had one, and here it is. Unfortunately, clumsy me dropped it when I finished cooking one day. There isn't even a picture of a barbecue. I think this is made of chromite, as it's considerably heavier, but I do not really know why I've been throwing it away. Most probably it's because I paid £30 for it and I'm thinking, oh, I might be able to use it one day. But there are plenty of products on the market for you to kind of mimic a little bit of the flavor you might get from a pizza oven. I better crack on with my repair work now, otherwise it will not be eating any pizza later, so I'll show you once it's done. And I'm back and I'm halfway there, and I finished the removal of the bricks which were loose, and this part here, which is where the plate is, they're all in here. I've put them in the same order as they came out so I don't get myself all tangled up, and I've done the same with the bricks which we're making the arch here. So the next challenge now is to replicate the arch again, so I'll show you what I do to make my little template. And cardboard is going to be my best friend today. I will be building a template which will go on the inside part of my arch, and hopefully will also be good enough to hold the bricks while they dry up. I'll show you once it's made. Well, I thought this is quite fun, so I decided to show you anyway. This is the highest point, the tallest point of my arch. So this is the very, very top brick, like that. And this is the width of each individual brick, which is approximately, I think it's not approximate, it's 10 centimeters, yes. I'm using one of the bricks as a template, and before the arch starts, there are 5 individual bricks. And this is the mortar in between. So the 6th brick is where my arch starts, so I'll do that. And I've done the same on the other side. So the gap from the bottom to the top of my 5th brick at the moment, having measured the pizza oven, is 36 centimeters, and the gap from the bottom to the very, very last brick currently in the pizza oven is 50 centimeters. And this is perfect because it is exactly 36 centimeters here, so I'm on target. And I'll mark here which is effectively my 50 centimeters mark. And I'll do the same on the other side, so 36 is good. And here is my 50. So having established that all the measurements stack up, I have drawn the outline of my very top brick, because I know that is definitely going to be here. So this is the top of the arch and this is the bottom of the arch. This is the internal part of the arch, which I drew earlier, and this is the line that effectively gives me the template for the bottom part of the arch I need to now build. And I think I'm there. I have placed them best I can to give me a symmetric arch, and I'll draw a line so that I'll give me the exact template. I'll do on the other side as well to make sure. Before I proceed, let's see what it looks like. I have also left this piece of cardboard at the bottom to provide me a base, and I have already cut the outline of the middle brick, as this is definitely going to be there. I'm going to place the middle brick in position so that it stays steady. And I moved on the inside, and I'm now scoring the edge of my last brick to ensure that I know exactly where to start. And I've also done the same here on the other side. You'll have to excuse the noises, that is Julie cleaning the window. And that's perfect. I've got a perfectly matched outline of my inside arch, and I'm going to be scoring now with my pencil to ensure that I can cut it safely. I just hope that when I come to edit this video all of this will be visible. And using my knife I've scored through this line here, but I've only gently done this one so that I can bend it. And here it is, my template is ready. Let's test it. And yes, I can see it's going to work. I have got to take them out again because I got tangled up and the bricks are not back in the original position. But I can see that it's strong enough as I left the base, and it doesn't need to be there for very long anyway. So I think I'm happy that it will do the job. Next is mixing some cement and getting on with the repairs. Here is my sand and cement. It is a very warm day, so I want to make sure that it's not too liquidy, but equally well it needs to be dense enough. So I'm trying to achieve something which is strong enough to hold my bricks. And as it is a very warm day, I will be spraying some water, otherwise the cement will dry too quickly and it will crack. And I start with the very middle brick. I have decided to move up here so that I can see better and also reach easier. The bricks will be held by the cement I'm going to be placing here, but also the cement in between, which I'll do before I place the bricks on. I have to take this one out as I put it the wrong way around. But it's back in now. I'm now ensuring that the new bricks are level with the outside of the old bricks, which they are, and they look good. And I'll move to the other side. And I just finished the other side as well, and looks pretty good. And at the moment I'm just roughly cleaning the cement, any of the cement that I've left behind. Otherwise, if it dries, it's more problematic, so it's easier to do it now, so that I can then point them once I've done the rest. And I've moved the camera up here so you get to see better, but hopefully I will not break it by smashing it. And this will need to go here, and I'll need to leave approximately 1 centimeter from the plate. So I'm going to be filling all of this gap with cement, which will also strengthen the bricks on the outside, and then I'll do some cosmetic on top to put it back to what it was. I've made this batch of cement slightly more liquid so that it filters through and it's easier also for me to work it. This brings back memories of 2015 when I did this job when it was new. That's perfect. I'll put some cement here in the middle, and I'll do the middle brick first, which is something like this. And if I place this here, a little bit more. And that's good, as it gives me good clearance for both the top and the bottom. And I'm ready to move to the other side. And the other side is also done. In the meantime, I've had my lunch, but just before lunch, I put some cement in here to build a little bank so that by the time I put my top bricks, it will be nice and solid. And while the cement was soft, I already marked with the brick the cement so that I know exactly where it goes. And it's now a matter of putting some cement on top and bottom, and hopefully it will stay put. And here we go. A bit messy, but necessary. Yeah, it's nice and steady. A little tap to align it to the back brick. And I'll do the other one next. Exactly the same principle. I've already marked it, so it should fit nicely. And indeed it does. And I will leave them for a few minutes. I will not touch them at all so that the cement sets a little. In the meantime, while I'm fighting the cardboard, I'm doing the pointing, and I think this is one of the most important jobs from a look perspective, really. You get this wrong and it won't look very nice. When I made this, by the way, the first time I didn't use cardboard. I had a proper piece of wood that I cut to measure, but today cardboard is doing the job very well. And having filled the gaps of my bricks with cement, I wait until it dries a little, and I'm going along with this tool, which is really good. I used to use a piece of copper pipe, but my friend John took pity on me and donated me this thing. I don't even know what it's called, but it's great for these jobs. And I just really make sure that it is nice and smooth, and it looks great. And I was watching a builder when we built an extension, Ivan, and I was noticing how he did the pointing, and he told me that you're better to wait until they slightly set the cement, and then it will just brush off without making a mess. And it's actually true. And as my builder advised, go back with the brush and take off the cement. And you'll have noticed, just like with food, when I finish something, Julie turns up. How can that be?
Well, I've finished my job now, so that's why I'm available.
I've got something in my eye. So this is done for now. I will leave it clearly until tomorrow afternoon when I start the fire ready for the pizza. And then I will remove the cardboard, and hopefully it will stay in place. I don't see why it shouldn't. In the meantime, I think I deserve a nice long bike ride. I'll do that, and then I'll come back, and most probably I'll shave because my daughter otherwise will not recognize me. And then I'll make the dough. So I'll see you in a few hours' time when I make the dough. See you later. Bye. A few hours later, and I am back, and I've shaved as well.
And he's caught the sun.
I have, yes. That is called multitasking, you see. I've done two things at once. I have repaired the pizza oven, but also sunbathed at the same time. So, Judy, see, you're wrong.
I'm jealous, actually, yes, because I was indoors all day, but never mind.
Great. So I'm now going to make the dough very quickly, and I will be using a recipe that we use here, we've used for years, and people have got recipes and they say good recipe, bad recipe. I don't think it really matters. As long as you got something that works, use that. But if you do not have a recipe for your own dough, and this is the first time you're making, by all means, make this one. And I'll be making a little bit more than what I need, because spare in case I make a mistake with the pizza, but also I'll be making a little bit more as I will be using that to make some bread and use the opportunity to use the oven. I'll be making enough for 8 pizzas, although I will not be making 8 pizzas tomorrow. I'm just giving you some measurements for context. So this is 1 kilo of strong white flour, 650 milliliters of lukewarm water, and I'll start by adding some dry yeast, and these are 2 sachets of 7 grams each, followed by 1 level tablespoon of caster sugar. I'll mix everything with a fork and I'll leave it to rest for a few minutes next. I'm making the dough tonight, but pizza's tomorrow, and it's not just about convenience, by the way, to let the dough rest overnight. There are 2 critical factors. One is texture and one is also taste. The more time the yeast has to ferment, the more the flavor of the dough enhances, giving it a tangy sort of taste. And also the slower fermentation will help develop the gluten structure of the dough. This is because the gluten strands relax and it will make the dough elastic and easier to work, and it will stretch nicely, but also when it cooks it will be considerably lighter and also very, very crispy. I remember when I was a little boy, I used to be a little bit of a pain because whenever we used to go to eat pizza, I would go and see the pizza man or the pizza maker. Actually, they're called pizzaiolo in Italian. And I would ask them a million questions, and they would explain to me all of those things. And I used to see those little dough balls that they used to keep in a wooden tray, all covered in flour. And I would ask them, when do you make them? And they would always say, oh, we make them the night before, for the very reasons, texture and taste. And it is actually incredibly easy to work it once as rested overnight because of the elasticity. And they liked me, and actually one day they invited me to make my own pizza. I was over the moon. I made a margherita. So I will put all of my flour on the worktop. I like to work on a nice base.
I must say, I normally use this baby. This is my little toy, and she's got a bread dough hook that spins round, and it's the lazy Julie version, but there we are. Francesca's going to do it by hand. Off you go, dear. Enjoy.
But the one thing that Julie hasn't told you is that she likes it easy. I don't like it easy because not everybody's got one of those toys, and making it by hand also is nice and it's fun, and is the old tradition.
It is, but to be fair, when he said he was going to make a pizza oven, I knew that my job would be making the pizza dough. So I said, right, if you're having a pizza oven, I'm having a new toy.
But I'm making it today. So using a spoon, I've made a little hole or well, I think is referred as often. And I will start by pouring some of my water in it.
As you can see, it's got a little bit frothy, look.
Yes,
it's been
it's already
melting.
beginning to ferment. And I'll add a little bit at a time. And using a fork, I'll start mixing it, and every time I go around, I will catch some of the flour so that it starts getting thicker and thicker, and then I'll add more water. If you're doing this, obviously make sure that you do not break it, otherwise you'll have water all over your worktop, and then you'll blame me.
Or use your mixer.
Or use a mixer if you've got one.
You chuck it all in, press the button, and off it goes.
This is quite fun actually, because it's great to see something changing without using technology.
Ooh. Oh dear, oh dear.
This is what we need to avoid, but that'll be fine.
Get some more flour around there.
There you go. No drama. So all of the water has gone, and it's now getting quite difficult for me to carry on with the fork. So I will start using my hands. So get rid of that. And this is the bit I like most. The kneading. I will be kneading it for approximately 10 minutes until all of the flour has been scooped up and it will feel soft and smooth. As I'm kneading it, I'm using the palm of my hand to move it forward, and I'll do 2 or 3 movements, and then I'll turn it around the other way and I'll start again. If you think about the old days, they used to do this every day when they used to make bread, or not necessarily pizza every day, but or pasta. Just think of the muscles that they would develop. So it's good exercise as well. By the way, I forgot to mention earlier that when I weighed the flour, I also added 1 level teaspoon of salt. So do that at the beginning. Apologies, but really important that you do that as well.
How are you feeling, Dave? Getting tired?
Me? No, top of the world. And I've been doing this now for a good 10 minutes, and smooth and soft is what I was looking for. Smooth and soft is what I've got. Here's my bowl from earlier, and I've put a tiny little amount of olive oil. In goes my dough. I've got some cling film here, which I will be putting on top. And I'll leave it to rest in a nice warm place. In my case, it will be the airing cupboard for 45 minutes, and it should hopefully double in size. So I'll see you in 45 minutes.
Let's have a little look at it before it goes in.
Okay. And here it is, looking very much double. I have to say that after 45 minutes when I checked it, had grown considerably but not double, so I decided to leave it for longer, so I left it in for a further 30 minutes, so altogether 75 minutes. So you'll have to judge depending on the temperature of your room where you place it. I'm gonna put a little flour on the worktop next and tip my dough. Look at that.
Ooh, lovely.
It does actually remind me of the move, I think it's called The Blob, when something was growing and growing and growing. Hopefully it will not be there tonight in our house. And back in Sicily, my friend pizza maker, pizzaiuolo, told me that the perfect weight for a pizza dough is 200 grams. This weighs 1.6 kilo now that I've mixed it. 1 kilo is the flour, 600 grams is the water. So I will divide this into 8 and it will be perfect because it will be 8 pieces at 200 grams each.
Now at this point, everybody, I'm now giving Francesco a little gift. Happy anniversary, my love. It's our wedding anniversary, and look what I bought him.
Oh wow!
Come
She asked me to close my eyes.
Well, had to close your eyes.
That's beautiful.
It's a
Thank
surprise. You got it a little bit early. It's actually a couple of days early.
Well, that's great. Wonderful.
Thought of you when I saw it.
So I need to cut this in half first. So using my new tool.
It's dough cutter and scraper.
Dough cutter and scraper. I'll cut it in half first. And I will make 4 pieces, which are going to be my 200 grams each. I have to be honest, there is a very, very pleasant smell coming up from here. They're lovely and soft and smooth. Here I've got a tray and I'll sprinkle some flour as well. And my little dough balls, they will continue fermenting overnight, so I will be placing 4 per tray as they will be growing. They need space. And second tray is chicken's tray.
Take 2.
Take 3 actually. And they're ready, and I will be placing them in a cool room, my office actually next door, overnight, and they will continue fermenting, and by tomorrow they will have grown again. And I'll place also a damp cloth on top, and this is something actually which my mum gave me, and it was my nonna Palmina, and she embroidered it indeed, yes. So
I don't know if you can see.
has got some emotional aspect to it. So I will see you tomorrow when we make the pizza, and by then my daughter Gabriella will be here, and we need to go and pick her up from the train station now. So arrivederci, buonanotte, see you tomorrow. Welcome back, and pretty much 24 hours later, it's now 3:30, time to have a look. And I can see that the mortar is really dry, and I'm very pleased because I can see that they're not moving at all. But we will remove this anyway because I need to start the fire soon. And yeah, I'm very pleased, I have to say. I can see there is a little bit of cement here. Julie, can you see that from over there? I will have to clean it, but that is not a big deal. I wasn't keen to mess it with it yesterday. But I'm incredibly pleased with it. Looks smart, and if I can get another 9 years before I need to do it again, I will be very happy with that. So I'll start the fire soon, and I will need a couple of hours for it to get to temperature, and then I'll see you when I make the pizzas next. And welcome back to the third part of this film, and we are about to now make the pizza shape from the dough. And my friend pizzaiuolo did teach me a little trick back in Sicily. I will try and be I'm not obviously an expert, but I'll try to do the best. So the thing he did say to me is to put some flour on a worktop and make like a sombrero with your pizza dough, and I'll show you what I mean. Talking of pizza dough, I should say that they stayed out until 6 o'clock this morning. Then I covered them with cling film and I put them in the fridge. And I got them out about an hour and a half ago, so they are now at room temperature. Otherwise they would dry. So, and they are pretty good actually, very pleased with them. So I've put some flour on top as well. So place the pizza dough on top of the little mountain of flour, and then using your fingers start effectively pressing it down, and you leave the bit of a mountain in here, and start giving the pizza dough a shape of a pizza, round shape, by pressing it down. And by doing so, you push until you leave 1 centimeter for the edge of the pizza. The dough is really elastic, so it will not break, but equally well, it's not about stretching it, it's about making sure that you have the nice circular shape. And now I'm going to start pressing in the middle, and it will be ensuring that I've got plenty of dough also for the middle, otherwise it would have all gone on the sides. Now that it's all even, I'm going to be using this side of my hand, and I'll start pushing with my hand against the sides. And I can actually, because this is really elastic and is very well rested, I can turn it, no problem at all. And if you look, it's taking a nice round shape, and it is flexing very well, because the dough is very elastic, and you can play with it very nicely.
That is not bad at all.
Now, Julie challenged me yesterday, can you do the magic of the pizzaiolo? I'll try.
Don't spoil it with that. That was so beautiful.
No, it's okay. And just to show you, because it's so elastic, see, it's very easy to just give it that little shape if you want to play with it in the air. Not that I am that good, but it gives you an idea of the benefit of letting the dough rest overnight.
Brilliant.
And that is one pizza base ready. It's 4 of us, so I'll make the other 3. I'm not going to bore you again, but and then we will fill them, and I will get some help hopefully from my daughter and from Julie. And I'm ready to make the first pizza now. It will be my pizza, and I'll just show you the ingredients I got in front of me and what I've done. This is a can of plum tomatoes which I've whisked, and I've added some oregano, olive oil, salt, pepper, and also some basil, and it's absolutely lovely. And that is again a recommendation from my pizza man in Sicily. I've grated some mozzarella. This is pizza mozzarella, and this is ricotta, parmesan cheese, as my daughter is going to have a pizza alla norma. She's going for a vegetarian option. I've fried some aubergines, and I've added a little salt and some olive oil at the end as well. Some sausages, some ham, which I've also chopped, and some spinach as well. These are a couple of pieces of pizza dough left over. I'll do a test to see how the bread making experiment goes, and if I'm successful, I will do a video later. Actually, maybe you can let me know if you would like me to make some bread. I'll be very happy to do that. And before I start, at the end of this clip, there will be also a clip which I've put together of the original project. I mentioned that yesterday when I built the pizza oven back in 2015. It won't be very long, but if you're interested to look at that, it will be quite interesting to see how it went from ground zero to what it is today. So every pizza you start with some tomato sauce at the base, and I'm going to spread it and go as far as I can towards the edges as well. Be careful not to put too much sauce, otherwise it will potentially break as you lift it. And another standard ingredient of every pizza is mozzarella, unless you don't like mozzarella, of course, but that is very rare. But the more mozzarella you put in, the more bubbly it will become, of course. I'm having a meat feast, but I love aubergines, so I'll put just a few, followed by some ham and some sausages which I also fried earlier. I will add a little spinach in mine as well. And as I am very greedy today, and I've worked really hard for this, I will be also adding a little ricotta. Why not?
Why not indeed?
It should not be a problem, but I'm going to put a little flour on my little tool for the pizza. In Italian it's called pala, this, by the way, P-A-L-A. And quite assertively, I'll go and pick up my pizza. There it is.
Ta-da!
So my pizza oven is at temperature, will be approximately 400 degrees, and we'll go and put it in now. So my fire is ready. The temperature of the stones is approximately 400 degrees centigrade, and I'll go in and put my pizza in, and I'll put it bang on in the middle. And as it goes in, I'll just very quickly move it out. And I'll close the door so that it maintains the heat at the highest temperature. It has actually been in there for about 45 seconds, and you can see that the edges are beginning to rise already, and I'm going to turn it so that it will cook evenly across all of the edges. And as I was explaining yesterday, this is because the bricks underneath are so hot that the dough cooks very, very quickly, and the edges are rising because clearly I put that centimeter at the edge to make sure that it looks like a proper pizza. Another minute and it will be ready. And it is ready, so I'll get it out. And now, my friends, is a perfect homemade pizza in my own pizza oven. I will try while it's hot, and in true Italian spirit I'll put a little olive oil around the edges, and so that they'll soften up effectively the edge of the pizza. Very, very hot. Be very careful when you eat hot pizza. It's absolutely delicious. I have to say, I'm not just saying it's a wonderful pizza. You can try this in your own oven. If you do that in your indoor oven, put it on the maximum temperature. If it's 200, 200, 250, 250, and obviously it will need more than 2 minutes, whatever, 5, 7 minutes, but definitely worthwhile trying. Hope you enjoyed the project and the pizza. Sorry if the video is a little bit long, but
and a bit noisy. There's a
little bit
party
noisy.
next door.
But thank you for watching if you did watch to the end, and buon appetito. Arrivederci e grazie.